Welcome in, foodies. I am back with another video, and today we actually have face cam, so you can tell me down below if you like my haircut or not. It's growing back. I accidentally shaved it all off. It was a huge misunderstanding, but it's coming back now. Anyway, irrelevant. What I want to do today is I want to go over a topic that Otzdarva actually covered. You know Otzdarva, right? You've heard of him, the God King of Dead by Daylight. He did a video about 2 months ago where he ranked all of the killers by which ones were his favorites to play as, and which ones he didn't enjoy playing as much. And I thought, at the time, I was like, man, that would be a really fun one to do my own version of, but we're gonna wait a little bit and we're gonna see how it goes. And then I completely forgot about it, but it popped up in my recommendations again, and I was like, hey, right, I wanted to offer my take on that. So pretty much the same style here. We're just going, this has nothing to do with viability. This is not a tier list in that sense. All we're trying to tell is, do I have fun playing as these killers or not? So what I want to do, I want to take these killers, I want to put them love playing, like playing, neutral, dislike playing, hate playing. Pretty straightforward. Now, the only one I'm going to explain here is, what does it mean neutral? Neutral means the bad and the good are just kind of pulling it to about a stalemate. I don't really have a strong feeling one way or the other, or even really a leaning, you know, just a filthy fence-sitting centrist. So let's get into it. Before we do that though, please do like and subscribe. We're trying to grow, and I would really appreciate it if you would do that. But let's jump right in. We're going to go in order of release as we always do. So Trapper was actually one of the hardest ones for me to place. I thought about this a lot, and when it comes to Trapper, I don't like the early game setup. I don't like that you're always going to be a couple gens behind where you would be with pretty much any other killer, but I do like setting up a web of traps and hopefully capitalizing on it at some point. So Trapper is actually a great example of one where the good, the bad, they just kind of converge into a bit of a neutral feeling for me. I can't quite say I like playing the Trapper, but I definitely don't dislike playing the Trapper. You know, it's really hard. It's really hard to place. What's not hard to place is the Wraith. I'm actually going to surprise some people probably and put Wraith in love playing. I think Wraith is super fun to play. Now granted, can there be some things that make Wraith's life a little harder than other killers have to deal with? Yeah, sure, absolutely. But I like a lot about the Wraith. I like zooming around the map. I like, you know, that his add-ons allow for a variety of playstyles. I think that's just a lot of fun. I think that's really, really cool. He's got some good synergy with some fun perks. Overall, again, this isn't about viability, even though I think he's actually a lot more viable than people give him credit. It's about fun. And is Wraith fun? Hell yeah, lots of fun. All right, next, Hillbilly. Hillbilly's gonna go into the like playing, and he was so close. He was so close to being in the love playing, but for me, it's not the skill curve to learning Hillbilly that makes him not fun. What I don't like about Hillbilly is that I don't even recall exactly when it happened, but at some point, the game got very janky with hitboxes, and you'll get these little things around the map that should not have any collision, but they do. And when you're playing as Hillbilly or Bubba, the two chainsaw killers especially, you can't really afford to do that, right? You know, Bubba will go into a tantrum. Billy, you eat the stun for having a bad saw. That's unfortunate. But overall, it doesn't take away from the fact that I think he's a really fun killer. I think he can play around with a lot of perks. The only real downside is he kind of has to use Bamboozle. I mean, Bamboozle on Billy is just, it's a must, I would say. You see most of the really good Hillbillies using Bamboozle, and most of the bad ones too, like me. But overall, Hillbilly's a lot of fun. So, Nurse. We're going to put her in neutral for a minute while we talk about this, because I went back and forth. At first, I was like, oh, I'm not very good with Nurse, so, you know, maybe I dislike playing her. But then it's like, but sometimes I pop off and it's kind of fun. Ultimately, what I kind of decided on is I'm going to put her in dislike playing, because even when I pop off as Nurse, I'm like, congrats, you did what you're supposed to do as Nurse, right? I've got, like 3,000 hours on PC alone, probably 1,000, 2,000, somewhere like that on console. Yeah, okay, I popped off as Nurse, good for me. It never feels like a victory. It's a Pyrrhic victory. It's a victory that came at the cost of my dignity. So overall, I'm going to put her in dislike playing, but not hate playing. I don't hate playing the Nurse. I just don't like the feeling of playing the Nurse, you know? None of that made any sense. All right, Michael Myers, the Shape. He goes up in like playing. I like playing Myers. I don't want to commit to love. I'm just not sure my heart is ready to love again. But yeah, Myers is a fun one. I think that he offers some kind of goofy builds and obviously some pretty strong ones with the tombstone piece and all that. So there's a lot to like with Myers. Again, not about viability. He'd be way, way down if this was viability, but it's not viability. It's about fun. And when I think about which killers are fun, yeah, I think Myers is fun. And remember, this is fun to play as, not play against. If it was play against, I'd probably bump him up even another tier, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, overall, I'm a big fan of playing as Myers. Now, we have the Hag next, and if you followed my channel for 5 seconds, you probably know the Hag is just not it for me. I don't enjoy playing as her. I don't enjoy playing against her. I don't like the Hag. And it's not even like, oh, please remove her from the game. Please get rid of the Hag. No, because I have friends in the community who really like Hag. Whatever. Not every chapter has to be for every player, right? I say this all the time. So Hag is not for me. Hagatha is not my friend. But if you love Hag, that's awesome. Good. I just don't really like playing as her. I don't like her playstyle. I think she's like Trapper, but while actually being stronger than Trapper, I can't speak. While being stronger than Trapper, she's not as fun. So that's it for me. Doctor goes up to love playing. I love that I feel kind of like a maniac when I'm playing as the Doctor, which is just great, right? That's kind of, let me move this up a little bit. Yeah. That's kind of, what else could you really want out of your murder simulator other than feeling like an insane murderer, right? The Doctor, all the little giggles, the way you make people scream, it really immerses you in the character. This is a really well-designed character in terms of just putting you in the head of this lunatic, of this murderous, now, you know, is he strong? No. So you're going to have games that aren't fun where you just get kind of pooped on by really good Swifts. But overall, I think he's a lot of fun. So another one of the tough ones. I would say there were only a few of them that gave me legitimate pause. And this is one of them because when the Huntress hits, man, she really hits. But damn it, I'm bad with her. Damn, I'm just really, really bad with her. I can't hit simple hatchets. And I often find myself saying, damn it, I hate this killer when I play her, like out loud, because I talk to myself all the time. So I'm actually going to put her in dislike playing. And I know that's Dead by Daylight blaspheme. And you'll notice, by the way, you may notice a trend here where it's like the stronger the killer is, the less I enjoy playing them. And I do think there's something to that. I think that part of that is I play a stronger killer and I feel like I need to win more. Whereas if, you know, I'm a clown main, I go in expecting to lose, right? I don't go in expecting big fat Dubsky when I'm playing as the big fat clown man. No, but when I play Huntress, I get very frustrated. Oh, but she's so fun when she pops off. I don't know. And we're going to put her in neutral because when she hits, she really hits. Bubba, I like Bubba. Again, we're doing all the weak killers up towards the top. Except for Billy. I think Billy's actually very strong and Wraith is decent. Yeah, I think that Bubba is really fun because firstly, you get to kind of surprise people when you play Bubba and you actually play the game instead of just like face camping or hanging out in the basement. You know, you really surprise people and I actually get a lot of really positive post-game comments of like, thank you for actually playing the character. And it's like, yeah, he's fun to play. I think that if this was playing against, like from the survivor standpoint, he'd be S tier, or in the love playing against tier. But as far as this is concerned, he's a lot of fun to play if a little simple, and he does kind of need some of his better add-ons because he's rather weak. I think people overrate how strong he is, but he's not bad either. Next up, Frederick. My New Year's resolution. I didn't make one, but I'm gonna make one now, all the way in March, and it's to be nicer to Freddy. Because he's had it rough enough. Ooh, Fred. We're going to put him in dislike playing. I think that almost everything with Fred, it's like, okay, somebody else does this, but better. I've said that before. A billion people have said that before. That's not even an original thought to me, right? Well, what's there to like? Even though I will say in my last video, I said there are no Freddy mains, and I got a couple comments saying, hey, I'm a Freddy main, so I see you, I hear you, I respect you. I just don't want to play as your killer. All right, Amanda the pig. This little baddie goes straight up to like playing. I like playing as the pig. I enjoy a lot about her kit. I think it's very satisfying. Out of all the weapons in the game, hers is one of the more satisfying ones to hit people with, which you'd be shocked by how much that means to me. Some people, like, so when Myers is using the pipe and he hits people and it makes a slicing sound because they never added a new one. Nope, makes my teeth hurt, don't like it, don't use it. But when you have a good thwack, like, that's the best thing about the Skull Merchant, right? Is that her weapon just has a satisfying, good sound to it. The pig has one of these as well. I think hers is very satisfying, especially the one that almost sounds like a little it sounds like an electric toothbrush when you hit them, which would be a really cool cosmetic. Just give her a toothbrush, you can go around, you know. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so the pig, I enjoy putting the bear traps. I enjoy managing the traps. You can play it kind of like a truly sadistic a-hole and like watch over the boxes to make sure people don't get their headgear off. Yeah, she's fun. She's not very strong, but she's very fun. Clown is up next. Clown, he's my main. Where did you think he was gonna go? Why would I main him if I don't love playing him? Well, actually, it was because I used to have a reward that my chat could redeem. Not even for bits. It was for channel points, and you could make me play a killer, and they would always just spam Clown, and I got to, you know, Stockholm Syndrome kicked in, and I actually fell in love with this killer. But neither here nor it is neither here nor there. Okay. Spirit goes into dislike playing. She's another one of those where she's extremely simple, very straightforward, but she's just so gross. She's gross. She's not fun to play against. She's not fun to play as. And when I play as her, I just know that the other side's not having fun, because there's nothing fun about facing a spirit. It's like, hey kids, do you like having to make a 50-50 guess at every palette? You don't? Well, too bad, you're gonna have to. Legion's up next. Pretty easy neutral choice for me, because on the one hand, I don't really see a whole lot to like about Legion's playstyle, but on the other hand, I can't really pick anything that I hate about it either. I remember one time there was a comment, somebody said, I play Legion because I like to go fast and stab people. That's pretty valid. That's pretty valid. So yeah, I don't have super strong feelings one way or the other. Legion, they're neat, you know. Joey goes up in the like playing, the rest of them go in the neutral tier. Plague's another one I like playing. I would love playing her if I could figure out her projectile a little more. So if I put more time into her, I think I would enjoy her more, but spoiler alert, I think that's every killer. I think all of them get better the more you play them. So I think in the case of Plague, I like being able to neutralize medkits in the current healing meta. That's super fun. I think that trying to manage your pools, that's great. She's got some nice add-ons. I wouldn't say they're anything too special, but yeah, overall pretty nice. Yeah, I like the Plague. Plague's good. Ghostface, straight up to love playing. Ghostface, this is how you do a stealth killer. This is fantastic. And oh my gosh, I'm not even kidding you. He was automatically in at least like playing just from the little knife wipe he does. That is so satisfying to me as a huge Scream fan. It is my favorite slasher franchise of all time, and the fact that they have him do that, even though it's not technically the Ghostface from Scream, good stuff. Good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, we're going 2 straight love playings. So, what more do you want me to say about Demogorgon? Demogorgon is just fantastic. Demogorgon, I think the strength of this killer, the strength in terms of the fun factor, is that you can play Demogorgon in a very simple way. You follow survivors, you slap on save the best for last, you chase survivors, you M1 everybody except for the Obsession, who you M2, bada bing, bada boom, you're a viable killer. However, better Demogorgon players will use this killer in a kind of more interesting way where they actually use his portals, which you may say, well, yeah, obviously it's part of his power. Do some people not use them? No. Some Demogorgons do not use the portals at all, and it's to their detriment because the portals are actually really, really good. But you can play a very simple Demogorgon's like Clown. You can play him very simply, or you can be very complex with it, and the viability of the killer is going to go up the more complex you play. So overall, Demogorgon, very, very fun, very rewarding, and on top of all that, it's just you feel so cool. You feel so cool playing as the Demogorgon. Very good killer. I mean, S tier design. Speaking of S tier design, wow, we're really on a roll. There's 3 straight in the love playing category, but hey, this is the Ooga Booga man. You know, he hits him with the oh, and then he runs around the map and he and he beats him down. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. That is my highly technical analysis of why I like playing as the Oni. That's as professional as it's gonna get. Deathslinger. So what's funny is I cannot hit a shot with Deathslinger to save my life. And I think it's gotten worse in recent times. I think I'm actually regressing with this killer. However, I like playing as him. I really enjoy the Deathslinger in spite of my awfulness, in spite of my intense lack of skill. You can clip that. You can use that. Use that against me in the future. I acknowledge it. I lack skill, right? In spite of that, he is so fun. He's the rootness tootness killer in the entire fog. Great, great stuff. All right, Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head, another kind of tough one. There's no doubt that he's kind of fun, but he's also so janky, and to play him most effectively, you have to tunnel, because that's what he does best. Man, that's kind of hard. I think that the fun beats out the jankiness, but just a little bit. So I'm going to put him in like playing, but he was very close to being in the neutral category. Overall, I'm a big fan of Pyramid Head. I think he's a great addition to the game, and I think that it's actually a rather good adaptation of a killer that, if you had asked me before Pyramid Head came into the game, hey, how do you adapt him to be a Dead by Daylight killer? I would have known what to tell you. So I think they did a great job in capturing the essence of this character in a lot of ways. He's just too janky. He's a little, it feels rough when you gotta lift the knife out of the ground. Outside of that though, pretty fun. Blight. Oh, what do we do with Blight? Blight goes into like playing. I like playing as Blight. He's another one of them like Deathslinger where it's like, can I hit a lethal rush to save my life? No. I can hit a lethal rush to save the survivor's life because I miss and they get to run away. But I can't play Blight very well. But that does not mean I don't like to pinball around and just bounce around the map, break, pull a Limp Bizkit, break stuff. It's great. It's a great way to be. Blight's a lot of fun. Gotta surprise some people with this one. Twins? I like playing them, and I almost put them in love playing. I really like the twins. And I know nobody likes the twins? Ugh. I know. I can't explain it either. I just really like the twins, and I think that playing as that little gremlin bastard Victor is just the time of my life. It makes my cold, dark heart feel something. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Victor. Not a big fan of Trickster. Trickster, gotta go on and tell you this one. This one's a skill issue on my part. It's a skill issue, much like with some of these other killers. The only difference is I don't think I would enjoy it all that much more, even if I was not bad with Trickster. Trickster to me is just like a less rewarding Huntress. I don't really enjoy trying to kind of just whittle survivors down around loops and all that. He's gonna go and hate playing, but much like Hag, I know that this is a killer that just really butters the biscuits of some players, and that's awesome. Don't take it personally if I don't like your killer. Most people hate Clown, and he's my favorite, so we're allowed to disagree. I'm just not a big fan of Trickster, and keep in mind, this is 99% from a gameplay standpoint. We're not getting into the whole mess about aesthetics and all that, even though for some of them, yeah, how cool they are definitely helps them, like Oni. Nemesis is another one. Very cool aesthetic, but I think for me, I don't consider myself a bigoted man, except for when it comes to palettes. I have a real innate hatred of palettes, and damn it, if I gotta be a bigot against palettes, so help me, I will die on that hill. I hate them, and apparently so does Nemesis. We go to the same anger management group because I love getting to just, oh man, you just whip through the palette and it's like, yeah, throw another one down. I dare you. I double dog dare you, because I guess he's Northeastern now. Yeah, no, I love Nemesis. Nemesis is kind of a secondary main for me. I play as Nemesis all the time. I love giving face fives to the little zombies when the game's over. Like, you get a 4K and you run up and you You just give him one of these, pow, right in the kisser. Good stuff, good stuff. I'm a big fan of Nemesis. Nemesis just, I love his big old combat boots, his lemon pepper steppers. You can hear him from halfway across the map. Oh, he's great. He's got the beautiful smile. What's not to like about Nemesis? Except for when you're playing as him and he feels kind of oppressive and maybe not super fun. All right, Pinhead. Speaking of oppressive and not super fun, Pinhead is, if this was from the other side, this is how do I feel about facing this killer? Straight to hell, straight to the bottom tier. But that's not what we're doing. We're doing playing as them, and I gotta say, call me a hypocrite for enjoying something that I don't enjoy facing myself, but I kind of enjoy having a secondary objective to protect. So he's gonna go into like playing. I like trying to balance the box, and generally, I guess, like the cruel bastard I am, make life as hard as possible for the other team. Yeah, I really enjoy trying to kind of play that game around the box. And when you get the notification that somebody's opening the box, I really enjoy trying to be in an area where I can hit them with one of my chains instead of just teleporting there. And then you know the game's about to go really well for you. So super fun, good synergy with some perks. Yeah, I love Pinhead. Pinhead's kind of fun to play as. But again, playing against him, ugh, no, never. Gross. All right, Carmina, the artist. I've been playing more Carmina lately because I have every achievement for the killers from, like, you know, what is it, like, hit this many people with Huntress's hatchets, hit this many people coming out of the phase state of spirit, yada yada. You know, every killer has one for their power. Outside of Skull Merchant, who just dropped, Artist is the only one I don't have hers for because I've just never really played a lot of her. But as I'm starting to play her more, I'm realizing that I judged her too harshly. She's actually kind of fun. She feels a little gross because you can put survivors in these positions where, like, they really can't do much. But overall, that's not a super big, like, that's not really her fault, right? That's the design may not be super fair, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, I sort of enjoy the artist. I don't know if I'm really willing to put her in the like playing yet. I'm gonna leave her in neutral for the time being because I don't want it to be a thing where I had a few fun games as her and all of a sudden I've completely changed my view from, like, dislike to like. She's definitely not in the love or hate category. Yeah, we're gonna put her in neutral for the time being, but if I did this again in a few months, who knows? Maybe she'd be somewhere else. Sadako is cool. I think she's more fun to play against than as. She's pretty... I know this is like some huge hot take for some people. I still think she's weak. And I know you look at my tier list and you say, well, when did that stop you from putting some of these other people up there? And that's true. It didn't. But, you know, I gotta move my camera a little. Oh, no, not emojis. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I need to move my camera, though, because I'm covering up Pinhead now. All right, there we go. We're gonna chill in this little quadrant over here. Sadako, I'll put her in neutral. You know, I definitely don't dislike playing her. There's no doubt. She's not rough to play as. I just can't say that there's a whole lot about her that makes me say, oh yeah, I really want to play as Sadako. She's all right. Which all right is kind of where the neutral tier, like, that's what it exists for. Dredge, I think most people know I'm a pretty big Dredge fan. Dredge is great. Dredge goes into like playing. Sometimes he can be a little infuriating, like when, for whatever reason, you know, you're looking directly at one locker and you go to teleport to it and it's like, oh, you meant this locker? And it sends you to a completely different place and it's like, why? You just cost me the game. That's always frustrating, but that's a kind of minor thing. It's not enough to really make me dislike, you know, playing as him. He's great. The Dredge is great. Yeah, I'm a big Dredge fan. I think Dredge is one of the most successful chapter launches they've ever had. Really, really good stuff. Love the Dredge. Or like the Dredge, because he's in like playing. Gotta choose my words more carefully. Now, one I do love is Wesker. Wesker is debatably the best design killer in all of Dead by Daylight. I'm not saying it as a fact. I'm saying it's debatable. It's debatable that he is the best killer in all of Dead by Daylight from a design standpoint. I think Demogorgon is up there with him. I think Oni is up there with him. You'll notice these are the ones all in my top tier. Yeah, I think Wesker's just a ton of fun. And what I like about Wesker is I know that the survivors are probably also having a good time, which is nice, right? That's a nice feeling. So yeah, what would you change about Wesker? He's fantastic. Next up, the Knight. Ooh, this is where I'm gonna lose some people. I enjoy the Knight. I really do. Now, Knight can be pretty rough, and I think that I always want to be clear, right? I don't like playing the Knight as a 3-gen protector, because while there's nothing wrong with that, and if you want to play it that way, go for it. Absolutely. Play the game how you want to play the game. It's so boring. I don't want a 40-minute game. Excuse me. I don't want a 40-minute game. Nope. Nobody really wants a 40-minute game, right? That's miserable. So if you do like I do and you use Knight in a very offensive manner, I think he's a lot of fun. However, if you play him strictly as a gen defender, at that point I put him down towards the hate playing, because that's not the play style I like to play. And then next up is the Skull Merchant, who, out of everybody on this list, look, I have a good bit of hours in every killer, except Skull Merchant. A, because she's new, and B, because I don't actually own her. I played her on the PTB some, and I'll use Rift Shards at some point to get her, but I'm just not there yet. You're probably going to expect me to put her in hate playing, or at least dislike, but really I'm just kind of neutral on her. I don't think that she's some ridiculously unfun killer to play. I just don't think she's that fun either. She is about as middle of the road as a killer gets for me, because it's like, yeah, her power is all right. It's fine, I guess. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. You know, and again, we're not really going off of design here. I do really like how her weapon feels when you smack people with it. That's great. So yeah, I think she's the definition of neutral. I don't know, but I get, it's always hard, right? It's always hard. The more recent that you get with it, I guess it's kind of like, if I could make a bit of a strange analogy, it's like when people talk about like politics or something, they can talk about something that happened 200 years ago in a really factual kind of way. Well, here's this and here's that and here's this. But then you talk about something that's happened in the last few years and everybody, it gets rather opinionated. That's kind of how, on a smaller scale, the DBD chapters go. They release and everybody's got all these crazy takes about them. And then a year or two later, people are able to just kind of settle in and, oh yeah, I like this killer. Oh no, I don't really like this killer. And we haven't really reached that point with Merchant, so I'm trying to be really, really fair here and just say kind of neutral. I don't think she's the worst thing, but I don't want to dogpile some kind of hate on this chapter. Yeah, but that's gonna do it for me. All right, that's my list. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember, please do leave it a like. It really does help. And my channel growth, it's kind of stagnated a little bit, but that's fine. As long as the people that like my videos still like my videos, that's cool. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'd be interested to know down below, who do you love playing against? Who do you hate playing against? I don't expect you to give me all 31 or 32 killers. I think it's 31. I don't expect you to give me all of them in order of who you like playing and who you don't. But, you know, just maybe mention who you do. You know, who you really, really like playing as, who you really like, who you really hate playing against. Not against, sorry, as. I'm forgetting my own premise for my video. But anyway, I have been DasFood. I hope you are having a lovely day wherever you are. I think that you all go right up in the love playing tier. I don't even know. Plays you? That makes no sense. But anyway, take care. Until next time, bye friends.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase.